Dear colleagues, this patient has mature cataract with posterior synechia. I thought I will have to use some pupil expansion device in this case, but I didn't have to. Let us watch the surgical steps in this case. By this time, the main incision has been made. This is an air bubble being injected into the antechamber. I want to stain the anterior capsule, and here I go under the capsule and inject some dye underneath the iris. This dye should spread all along, and a larger part of the capsule should be stained. Now I break the synechia with this Simcoe cannula, and I find that the pupil has dilated to some extent. And if it doesn't constrict, I should be able to manage this case without using any pupil expansion device. Here is the viscoelastic substance, and after injecting viscoelastic substance, the pupil dilates to some more extent. At this time, the pupil size is about 5 mm. One side port has been made in the right side of the main incision, and this is another side port on the left side of the main incision. Now I am going to do capsulorhexis. This is the 26 gauge bent needle. The anterior capsule is incised and this flap is raised. Now I hold this flap and I go along the border of the pupil, and in some places it goes beyond the margin of the pupil and it becomes an adequate sized rhexis. So you cannot see the margin of the rhexis, so it is larger than the size of this pupil. Now I do hydrodissection. How to do it? Just touch the lens and go peripherally and inject some fluid, some PSS. Gently tap and I can mobilize the lens. And now in this case, I'm going to use Oakley Catrax 3 phaco machine and a vertical chop. Here it is. I hold the nucleus with high vacuum and chop it. I hold it at another place, this place, and chop it here. And I try to remove this free nuclear fragment, and I could remove it partially. From the very beginning, I am in phaco 2 mode. Phaco 2 mode has ultrasonic power. In this case, here I caught the iris, but immediately I stopped using ultrasonic energy, and thus I didn't cause any iris chafing. In this case, the phaco power is 65%, flow rate is 45 ml per minute, vacuum is 450 mm of mercury. This is Oakley Catrax 3 phaco machine. So one heminucleus has been taken out. This is the other heminucleus. Chop this. Fortunately, this has been a very brittle nucleus and I could chop it very easily, and thus it could be managed. And this is the epinucleus. It is coming in, total thing is coming without leaving much of cortical matter. That's it. So posterior capsule appears fairly clean. Only few cells are there on the actually in the periphery of this field. In this case, I have selected a hydrophobic acrylic intraocular lens. Specifically, this is Alcon's multi-base intraocular lens. I am using a Simcoe cannula. I have developed a skill so that I can remove these cortical matter without seeing. I can catch these cortical matter and remove it. I just have to sweep it and remove it. That's it. Most of the cortical matter has been removed. So, if the synechia are broken, the pupil can be of adequate size, and we may not need to use iris hooks or any other pupil expansion device. Now I inject viscoelastic substance and implant a hydrophobic acrylic intraocular lens. Alcon lens is being implanted using Abbott's cartridge. The leading haptic goes into the capsular bag. The cartridge is rotated anti-clockwise and the trailing haptic is held with a McPherson's forceps. At the first attempt, it didn't go into the bag, and at the second attempt, it went into the capsular bag. That's it. The lens has gone into the capsular bag, and now I just have to remove the viscoelastic substance, form the antechamber, and conclude the case. Dear colleagues, please take up all challenging cases. You may think, is it possible? Yes, it is possible, because there is one way. And I can tell you, if you just proceed, the next step will come in front of your eyes. So never be afraid of taking up any challenging cases for surgery. Develop very good, stable surgical hands, very safe hands. Take care of each and every cell, not only endothelial cells, iris tissue, cornea, everything. All cells must be taken care of. We are concluding the case. The side ports are being hydrated and give a final wash, form the antechamber, and conclude the case. Thank you very much for your attention. Hope this video will help you in developing your skills.